authority. But for those who do wrong, agents of wrath to bring punishment on the wrongdoer.
Good evening and happy hump day. It is Wednesday, March 6th, 2024. I am Sarah Paranormal and you are watching Legit Paranormal Roulette on legitpodcast.com. Before we get going, I'd like to remind you, please like and subscribe at Legit Podcast and remind you we're now also streaming on Parapost and you can find us at Legit Podcast, DOTCOM, spell it out, on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. So Legit Roulette is the first, I believe, paranormal game show, and hopefully the last, where we spin the wheel, answer questions. And let's bring on our contestants for this evening. So we have King Miguel and hi, Mike, Country Boy Mike. Hey, Mike. And Sin Schrader Hill author. Only 3 brave contestants tonight. I don't know, you guys.
Is this a game show?
This is a game show where there really are no rules.
Okay. All right.
You good with that? Everyone good? Everyone understand the rules?
I never got that email. No rules.
You didn't get that? I mean, you've been on every week, Mike, so if you don't get it by now, I really can't help you. I can't. I'm sorry.
Is there a scoring? Is there a scoring system?
Yeah, the scoring is just basically what I feel like giving you. And also, you know, if viewers would like to chime in and award points, I'm down with that too. I'm down with that as well. Viewers can chime in, award points. Why the heck not?
Is there any trophies to be given out?
Yes, for the biggest loser.
Like an MVP, like MVPs of the league. Is there any? Are there any of those to give out?
Mike, no? You're gonna go first. How about that? Are you ready to spin the Sarah Paranormal wheel?
Yeah, let's do this. I don't know what we're gonna.
It has music now. That's wonderful. Paranormal trivia. Mike got the first paranormal. Oh, there's an ad that popped up. Paranormal trivia question.
What did you do to the wheel?
It's you know, I actually wanted to put my face in the middle. Someone did that, like, I don't know if it was last week or the week before, and it seemed really pompous, so I didn't.
Well, that was one good-looking old guy. I tell you that much.
Oh, you
not,
like
that I know him. Not that I know him. Not that I know that guy.
Looks good in hats. Yeah, that's what he'll be known as.
Yeah, well, could be known for something.
Mike, are you ready for your first trivia question?
Yeah, because I know nothing when it comes to trivia of paranormal. If you said sports, leisure, or anything else, man, I would have entertainment. But go ahead.
These aren't that hard. These aren't that hard. Mike.
Yep.
If a celebrity uses a ghost, what is he or she using? Do you want me to give you the multiple choice?
I don't even know what the question is.
Okay. If a celebrity uses a ghost, what is he or she using? A professional writer, a body double for a nude scene, a kind of girdle, or drugs?
There's only a ghost writer. I don't know what the hell the other ones would be. I've never heard of them.
They're made up. Ghost writer is correct. Congratulations, Mike.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
What were the other 3 again?
A body double for a nude scene, a kind of girdle, or drugs.
Drugs. All right, I like to change my answer. I'm gonna go with girdle.
Okay, so you're gonna
final answer.
Okay. All right. Well, that's incorrect. You had it correct the first time when I told you it was correct.
Oh.
So I'm sorry. That's minus 10 points for you.
All right.
Country Boy Mike, are you ready for your question?
I'm ready.
All right. Entertainment ghosts. Marvel Comics superhero Johnny Blaze is known as what? Ghost Rider, Space Ghost,
Ghost Rider.
Green. He didn't even want to hear the rest of the question. That is correct, Mike. 10 points for you.
Wait. Hold on one second. Do you know how dope the Ghost Rider is? Like, do you understand that he's a Marvel comic hero?
I knew when this question was on there.
All right, but he's a superhero that deals with like the dead, like he's
Cage.
the chains of death, the fire chains. He rides the bike. They put him in a Camaro for a while in the comics. It sucked. They put him back on the bike. All right, over to you, sir. Finally,
Sin Trader Hill author.
Yeah.
General ghost question. A particular annoying kind of ghost is a poltergeist. What does the word poltergeist literally mean? A ghost who calls you up at 2 a.m. crying about his girlfriend. An angry ghost, a noisy ghost, or a small ghost?
Noisy ghost.
That is correct, Sin. You get.
okay. Can I ask for clarification? What was the first one?
The first one is a ghost who calls you up at 2 a.m. crying about his girlfriend.
Okay, and then what was the other one that Sin said?
Noisy ghost.
I would like to ask for clarification on the difference of the two. Final answer.
Mike, I've got one more for you because you messed up the last one so poorly. It's a history ghost question.
Oh, good.
The 1997 remix album Blood on the Dance Floor, History in the Mix, spawned the double single History/Ghost. Who was the thrilling artist who sang these songs?
You didn't have to say thrilling to make me say Michael Jackson. I know Blood on the Dance Floor. I get that already. I was with that in the beginning. You didn't have to say thrilling. That was a bad adjective or is it adjective?
I was reading the question.
Bad verb.
Would you, do you want the multiple choice? Michael Jackson is correct. All right.
Final
so
answer.
Mike earns his 10 points back. Would anyone like another question or should we spin? Let's spin. Country boy Mike, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's go. What's different? Ooh, Mike, you've received Ask Anyone a question. You can pick someone who is on the screen and ask them any question you like.
Man, this is tough. I asked myself a question.
Mike, this is the easiest question. This is the easiest one on the wheel.
I know, right? But I'm sitting looking at myself and I'm thinking about asking myself a question, but I already know the answer. Mike, what's your favorite ice cream?
When I was younger and not tolerant, or I could even, have ice cream, it was black raspberry. Oh, God, I love black raspberry ice cream. I used to make them replace
Black
that strawberry with
raspberry?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you never
No.
had black raspberry?
Maybe black cherry. I don't even think black raspberry is an ice cream flavor.
Oh,
You
are
lose points for that.
Hey,
Come on.
It's not a
hey,
real
hey,
flavor.
Whoa.
It's
Come
not
on.
a real flavor. It's not a real flavor.
Me and Mike are old school, so we experienced shit that y'all didn't, youngins.
Listen, time out. No. In this area, black raspberry is one of the main. It's unbelievably delicious. That's that flavor, and then coffee ice cream.
Okay, coffee ice
We have
cream
coffee milk.
is my favorite. Yeah.
We have coffee milk. We make coffee ice cream. We make black raspberry ice cream. Which I'm trying to tell you, if we all think it's delicious, it's not like you would find.
Okay,
it
Mike.
delicious
All right, Mike.
too.
This isn't Rhode Island trivia.
Black raspberry.
Sin Trader Hill author. Ask
Yes.
anyone a question.
Oh, I had one, and then Mike kept talking, and I lost it.
That usually happens.
Sarah, what is your favorite song?
Ooh, my favorite song is "While My Guitar Gently Weeps" by the Beatles.
Love it. But I like the Jeff Healey version.
My dad used to sing me that song when I was little, play it on the guitar and sing it to me. So that's why that is my favorite song. Thank you. Sin gets 500 points.
Can I ask for clarification on that answer?
No.
What?
Is that a Beatles song or is that a George Harrison song?
George Harrison song.
I'm sensing a little favoritism.
Favoritism for King Michael or for me?
Huh? For
Who's
500 points for that question?
Oh, I mean, it was a much better question than what kind of ice cream do you like, Mike? I don't know what to tell you.
Oh.
Well, you know what?
Burn.
We're gonna go out for ice cream, and I ain't even gonna know what to order you.
You won't know what to order me because you asked Mike. King Michael, who would you like to ask a question of?
All right, Sin, when
Yes.
you were the college mascot,
Yes.
where did you keep the towel to wipe your face and whatnot when you started to sweat?
I didn't. It just dripped down my face. And at halftime, I always went into the women's bathroom, and I had shorts and t-shirt on underneath. So I would strip out of the mascot outfit, take the head off. My mom would bring me crushed ice from the concession stand. Thank you. And she would let me eat some as she iced me down.
Okay, we need clarification on that, Sin. What mascot were you?
Best question yet.
Old Blue, MTSU, Middle Tennessee State University. I was Old Blue, the blue hound dog.
Yes, she was.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
You know what? Absolutely awesome. I've always thought, how great would it be if someone let me be a mascot
Oh,
for a
man.
day? And let me just
got
go to
away.
a game and be a mascot, dude. I would love it. It must be a blast.
I got away with so much.
Oh,
Yeah.
I could not stand the sweat just dripping down my face, though. That would actually drive me insane.
Now.
No,
I couldn't stand
can't
it
do
now, but yeah, back then.
The things we could do when we were young, that just there's
I know,
no way
right?
we would think of doing now.
You know, Sin, one time I bought a professional costume like that for it was, I want to say I spent about $1,200 on it, but it was like a legitimate look, like it was from like an amusement park lion suit that I used at the cell phone store that I owned. And I would pay a kid to go stand out there and wave the flag, and hold the sign, and be the character. And then we used to take that character to like different birthday parties around the area. And then eventually get to the point where I couldn't wear it. That was the problem. Like when I wore it, it was like it was stretching the lion to where it was like, he was about to wear high waters. So I used to have to get other people to wear it. But we eventually had to sell that costume. But I got to tell you, there was nothing more freeing than like sometimes the kid would be there and I'd be like, you know what, dude, let me go out for a while. And I'd put the lion costume on and I would go outside and I would mess with the cars coming by. And I would and I was him. I mean, dead serious. You better believe I did that. I would just stop. I'd be like, you guys handle the store. Boom, I'm going to go be the mascot. It was a blast. Sorry, Sarah.
In my costume, I had a big pillow in the front and just stuffed a pillow for a big belly. And when it was basketball season, I would start at the end of the court, run, and then dive and slide on my belly as far as I could.
You know what? Sin should win this game just for that. Just for that.
I should get half the points she gets for asking the question.
No. Can you spin the wheel, please, Mike?
All right. Yeah.
Please. I said please.
We're talking about mascots. That was scary. Recurring nightmares.
Recurring nightmares. Reoccurring nightmares. Mike, have you ever experienced a reoccurring nightmare? Have you ever experienced a reoccurring nightmare?
you asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking you because you spun the wheel. I would like you to tell me if you've experienced it and then explain the nightmare to me.
Yes, I did. Yes,
Okay.
yes, I have.
Can-
Yes, I did.
Can you
I had it
please
when I was a little.
explain the nightmare?
All right, I'm going to
Explain the
explain it,
nightmare.
but I'll explain it, but it's not going to make sense. So, I kept having a
Why
dream
would
as a
it?
kid that am I on delay? Hold
No.
on a second. Sorry. So I'm a little kid, and I had the same dream. I would sit up in a doctor's office, right? I'd be wearing like one of those gowns that would make you wear that I just hated wearing because it was just like the most. No kid wants. I don't want to be in that plastic paper gown thing. And I would sit up, and I would be looking for my mom, and I couldn't find my mom, and I would keep going into rooms. And here's what's messed up: I would see something in those rooms that would terrify me, but I never really saw it. Like I knew that I saw something that terrified me, but I didn't see anything. And then that would happen room to room to room, and I would make it out the back door. And here's where it gets weird. There was always a big orange police dog, but not a real dog, like a Mickey Mouse type. What we're talking about, costume dog wearing a police hat and a police uniform with a stop sign, blowing a whistle, but being mean and telling me to go back into the building. And I remember being terrified. I had to go back in. I wake up. I had that dream a lot as a kid.
Wasn't there like a McGruff the crime dog or something?
Yeah, no, it was like a British variation of him in my head. A little bit more
That's
cartoon.
terrifying.
Yeah, dude. As a kid, to keep having that same thing. And the thing
So,
was,
Mike,
the worst part was, I don't know what was terrifying me. Because I don't remember it. That's the part that I don't remember.
Are you sure it was British?
There was something British, like Bobby, about him. With the way, with the nightstick and the whole hat.
Did he have the nights? Okay.
Yeah,
all
it was
right.
just something, you know.
Okay, then. Anyway, thank you for sharing.
Hey,
Mike.
You asked.
I did. I did ask the question, although you might have suggested that topic. I can't remember, possibly. Which means that you would have known your answer to that question when you suggested the topic. So I feel like maybe you just wanted to tell that story. I hope that it was therapeutic for you.
You know what's funny is you didn't ask, have I had more than one reoccurring dream? Because I've had the Elephant Man dreams.
No, we don't want all of them.
That went on for weeks.
No,
then
it's a pick
when
one.
I get older,
It's a
I
pick
have
one.
The car flipping
Mike,
dreams over
Mike,
and over.
your time has expired.
You asked, and then you just exploited something that was one of my things, as if like I had it set up in the chambers.
I'm sorry, your time has expired. We're moving on to Country Boy Mike. Country
Final
Boy
answer.
Mike. Have you had a recurring dream, and can you tell us about it?
Yeah. When I was a kid, one recurring nightmare I used to have was falling. I mean, all through my childhood, I'd have nightmares of falling, and then I'd wake up in the bed. It's like as soon as I hit the ground, I wake up laying in the bed. But yeah, it's just like because you feel the same sensation as you would falling in your stomach and everything else. It was horrible.
I think a lot of people have had that. Does that count as a nightmare? Because
If
I
it
feel like
happens over and over again, yeah.
It doesn't sound like he's bungee jumping. So sounds nightmarish to me.
Thank you for your input, King Mike.
Final answer.
All right, Sin Schrader Hill, author.
I'm
A
going
recurring
to be,
nightmare.
I'm going to be boring with this. No, I have never had one.
Have you had a recurring good dream?
No.
Let me ask you
Sin.
this: have you ever had a dream, Sin, where you fall
Yes.
down? Where you fall down, right? And you
Yes.
can't get back up, or you can't walk, or you can't run, like you physically can't do it. Have you ever had that dream where you fall down?
King Michael,
and you
I'm
can't get
gonna
back
have
up?
to. Like, you're not hosting this week. You opted out of hosting. Sin Schrader Hill, have you ever had a dream where you've fallen down and you can't get back up?
I have gotten up. It was hard getting back up, like being chased and having a tough time trying to get back up. But yeah, I got back up.
So I've had a few recurring nightmares.
Really?
She's fallen and she can't. Yeah, one I used to only have when I would visit England. This is the weird part. I'd only have it when I'd visit England. And I would have the dream where I'd wake up, and I'd wake up in my bed at night, and it was usually at my grandparents' house. And there would be a storm and there would be a skeleton hand knocking on the window. But I think I'm waking up to that, and then I get terrified, and I go to scream, and then I would actually wake up.
But only when you're in England.
Only would have that dream when I was in England for some reason.
What?
So that was the weird part about that dream. And then I have another recurring nightmare that freaks me out because I'm in a convenience store with my daughter. That I don't have a daughter, but it's me in a convenience store with my daughter, and we're going in to pick up something. I don't know what in the dream. And somebody comes in with a gun to rob the convenience store, and I push her down to like lay on top of her, and I get shot and I die, and then I wake up. Wow. And I've had that one since early teens. Early teens. I was convinced for a long time when I was younger that that's how I was going to die. I had it so much.
Shot in the belly?
Huh? In the back.
Laying on her child.
In the back.
In the back.
Mm-hmm. Shot in the back as I'm going to like cover my child.
That one
weird, right?
Yeah.
No.
No, but dreams can be terrifying. Who's up next on the wheel?
It would be Country Boy Mike.
Ooh, paranormal locations.
Okay, I know this. I knew this one was going to fall on you, Mike, because my question was, what's the most haunted place you've ever been? And then I'm like, well, Mike's going to say his house. So I can't ask him that question.
No. Actually, the most haunted place I've ever been, were actually worse than this house, was my son in Indiana bought a house, used to be a funeral home.
Mm-hmm.
And it never was haunted until I moved in with them. But they started seeing apparitions all over the place. I mean, it was terrible. It was dogs standing there barking at a wall that was nothing standing there. It was pretty terrifying. I mean, you could walk through a room and feel the energy. At that time, I didn't know what I was feeling. I thought it was just scared. But now that I know energies and know what to feel for, yeah, my son's old house, that's the most haunted place I've been in.
Does he still live in that house?
No, he's actually divorced now too. So, tell him what's up with the house.
So, question: when you have a house that's that haunted, your son had a house that was that haunted, that was a funeral home. When he goes to sell it, does he tell the new people it's haunted, or does he just assume they should know?
Well, the funny part about the whole thing is they never had any paranormal activity in the house till I moved in there.
That figures. So
yeah. So and things ramped up really, really bad.
So was the house actually haunted, Mike, or are you haunted?
That's a question that I don't know how to answer. I think I caused a lot of hauntings. But I mean, that's just like this house. Everything that was happening here, I did. So
Country Boy Mike.
Clarification.
No one is inviting you to be a house guest anytime soon. No one is asking you
clarification
to come stay at their house. Okay, King Michael would like a clarification.
So is it Mike or the house?
I think that, what, I actually like, Sin Trader Hill, would you like to take a stab at that question that Mike asked? Do you think it was Mike himself that's haunted or the house?
I think it has a lot to do with the person. I do. They bring in a lot. So if there, and two, if there's something potentially at the house already that's quiet, they can ramp it up.
You're up next.
Yep. That was exactly what I was thinking. Thank you, Sin. Sin, are you ready to spin the wheel? No, wait. We didn't all ask? No, we didn't all go. Sorry.
Sin's up next.
Yeah. Sin, what's the most haunted place that you've ever been and why?
It's the old hospital here in town. It just is. I think it's because of all of the life and death that was there in the first place. It's also built on what could be a mound. So there's that. So there's land issues involved. The river is close by. Civil War, of course, fought in the area. So there a lot of that, a lot of Native Americans around the area, regardless of if it was a mound or not. So we got that. We also had teams coming in from all over. And because they paid for an investigation, you can't stay with them because it's not in the contract to stay with them. So a lot of them, we feel like, didn't close their sessions as they were investigating certain parts. Like if they were using a spirit box, they didn't close it to keep, to stop the conversation or whatever. There's also, I think we talked about thought forms on here.
Yep.
That one person wanted to see if he could do it. He did. And so there's just a lot of crazy things running around that old hospital.
It's so interesting to me. The whole thought form. They call them egregores in a lot of times. It's like if you believe enough in something that you can actually create a ghost is just insane to me. And so I was asking a question of some like celebrity ghost hunters. I was on like a chat with them, and it was this. If you create an egregore, if you create a ghost like that guy did, like he was purposely trying to create, it's like creating a being, almost like a baby. Do you have responsibility to it then? Do you have some responsibility? Right?
Yeah, you should, but it's almost like creating a fetch in witchcraft.
Yeah.
So if someone creates a fetch, they can use either a dead person, and that body is what is their fetch, or they can conjure an animal to be their fetch to go out. But as long as they have a job to do, they're occupied. What happens when the person that created that fetch dies? The fetch is still there, and the fetch looks for other people. And like in this one particular instance, there's Mark has a haunted book, and there's a fetch that's attached to it. When you start reading this book, the fetch appears, and you can see her. She's
It's a
waiting
person?
she's waiting for something to do. So you either, if you tell her something to do, she is now your fetch, and you've got to keep giving her things to do, or
No, that's
she's
terrifying.
going to consume you. So yeah,
That's terrifying.
The whole thing is terrifying.
That's terrifying.
Clarification.
Terrifying.
Clarification.
Go ahead.
Is sin saying that? Let me get this straight. You're telling me you're telling me that you know somebody who wrote a book where if I were to read said book,
He didn't write it.
All right. Anyways, there's a book out there that if I get a hold of it, are there more than one copy? Was it like published? Oh,
No,
it's just
he's
one
got
book.
it sealed. He's got it sealed. You can't get a hold of it.
So if he let me read this, though, you're telling me
Yes.
that a fetch would appear in my room and just sit there and wait for me to tell it to do something?
Watch you, and you would either say, go away, which she would, and she would not be your fetch at that point. And the next person that would open the book to read it, if they gave her something to do, like, go see what.
But you're saying all I got to say is, all I got to do is say, go away, and that's it. It's over?
At that point, yes, for you, yes.
Are you sure it's a female ghost?
Yes.
Okay.
Shut up. Sin, you know what he's doing.
There's no telling. There's no telling.
Of course it's a female ghost, because a male ghost is never looking for tasks to do. and even if you told him to do it, They wouldn't.
No, that's not what the joke was. When my
No,
head,
that's what the joke is. I know what
joke
you're.
was-
Yeah.
the joke was gonna the
I don't
joke
have
is
a
gonna
buzzer.
be you're telling me you could tell it to go. All right. It's my turn. Ask
King
me.
Miguel, what is
Yes.
the most haunted place you have ever been and why?
Okay, this is easy. This is back when I was in like junior high. Right?
Mhm.
Junior high, by the way, the most awkward, worst part of anyone's life.
Yes.
I don't know why junior high sucks for everybody. Like if you had junior high, truly junior high, where in other words, we had a building that went from kindergarten to 6th grade, right? In the town. We had the high school, which went from 9th grade to 12th grade. And then in the town, we had this dump of a school that was 7th and 8th grade. First off, does anyone know any 7th or 8th graders? They're horrible people. Horrible, horrible people. 7th and 8th graders are the worst people you could ever run into. Believe me on this, right? They're at the stage of their lives where they just become horrible people for a while, for a couple of years. You know, you get out of it. And what was I saying?
The most haunted place you've
Oh,
ever
yes.
been.
Yes, that's right. Most haunted place. Right.
Mhm.
Junior high. Did I mention that? Right, junior high. Listen, the kids that were into heavy metal, right? The kids that had the long hair, they had like the patches all over their jean jackets. Like everything was ripped. Everything was this. It was like Motley Crue and Bon Jovi, but then there was like the Judas Priest kids and the Iron Maiden kids, and it would get darker, the Black Sabbath kids, right? And they would mess around with like cats and they would kill animals, and it was deep within our woods. So there were certain parts of the woods you knew not to go to at night. Like literally, you could get close to it. I remember getting close to it and I couldn't figure out what the smell was. And I kept comparing it to burnt fruity pebbles until later in life I realized they were smoking weed.
Oh,
But that's what I thought they were burning fruity pebbles. That's what it smelled like to me. But like, yeah, that was the most terrifying because that didn't have like a ghost or anything like that. That had like you know when you're at that age and you'll believe anything about the cool kids?
Mhm.
You know that age, like you believe anything about the kids that are cool. They know they're so cool. So to hear
Right.
that they're like killing animals and all that stuff's going on there was horrifying.
so
That's the most haunted.
was that a satanic cult, or were they just trying to be cool?
There were
Their
so
own
there
mind.
so there was one, and then there were a bunch of kids that would go there like kind of afterwards or on the other nights to be cool. Like
Wow.
there were remains within the area if you get close enough, and it wasn't like as a little kid I didn't want to see I don't care about dead birds, but any kind of animal I didn't want to see dead. You know what I mean? Like
So I feel like
So-
though a couple of things there, Mike. One, I think that everyone in junior high had woods somewhere near their house where there were rumors of older kids killing animals. I know I did. Sin, did you have rumors of satanic cults in the woods that would kill animals?
Not around here, but in like 30 miles away, yes.
Country boy Mike, have you heard the killing of animals satanic cult rumor when you were in junior high?
No.
Okay.
So here's the thing
I
though.
live in shelter.
Two,
In Rhode Island,
it wasn't
in Rhode Island,
haunted. It wasn't
we don't hear-
haunted.
you're true on that point, but I just want to tell that story. But my point was, in Rhode Island, that they weren't rumors. Like they didn't mess
There's
around.
no rumors.
Uh,
Come to Rhode Island where there's no rumors and black raspberry ice cream for everyone.
you've been there.
All right.
It's true. Like it's true. There's no rumors. They did. They were cults.
There's no rumors and black raspberry ice cream for
There's only
everyone.
cults.
It's
We're-
probably
we're-
the best ice cream.
We're around the halfway-ish point.
Oh,
I'd
okay.
like to remind our viewers that if they have questions or comments, they can call us. You can call us now at 508-554 or 534, I can't read, 8763 or 508 Legit Pod. Email us at legitpodcast.dotcom at gmail.com. We're also Legit Podcast DOTCOM on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. YouTube. We were streaming to two channels, right, Mike? And it got a little confusing because there was an old one and a new one. So we're just at Legit Podcasts now on YouTube, right? just at Legit Podcasts. Also streaming to Parapost, and we have our spot. Mike, can you want to do the sponsorship, please? For High Harvest.
The only place to go for personal care and attention, www.highharvest.net. Facebook, man, High Harvest 420. Instagram is high.harvest. What you can see is a list of baked goods. I would recommend the cookies. I actually always recommend the cookies. Matter of fact, I tend to travel with the cookies wherever I go because they are, I would tell you to take a half.
Allegedly, and not across state lines, right?
No, never. Never do
Okay.
that.
Just
When I'm walking,
checking.
my trips. Anyways, I would say take a half. Like Sin, if I was going to give you one, I would give you a half. Mike, you had to give you one, that you'd be fine. But Sin, you'd have to take a half.
You probably need to give me a quarter.
Maybe,
Yeah.
you know.
Don't give me a half.
They're good though. Great cookies, and the worst part is they're delicious.
They are good cookies.
Don't
it's
give
like,
me
you
more
know,
than a quarter then.
They're very good. All right,
Not as good as Country Boys Mike's industrial strength gummies.
Mike.
Industrial.
Allegedly, Mike, are you going to make any more of those gummies anytime soon? And I need some. Okay. So
selfish. She's selfish.
You're in Rhode Island, buddy. I'll tell you.
Probably closer in a month. I'll make some.
Awesome, King Miguel. It's your turn to spin the wheel again.
Oh, that's exciting.
Is it? Is it? Female ghosts. So I was doing research, is what it was, for the news. And I found an article on why are there so many female ghosts? And I was like, why are there so many female ghosts? So instead of reading said article, I'm like, we'll just ask it on roulette and see what they think. Okay, my God, why do you think there's so many female ghost stories about the like Victorian lady in white or whatever color she's wearing, weeping or crying or moaning or wailing wherever she's wailing, moaning, crying, whatever?
Can you just give me 1 second? Just give me 1 second. I'd like to apologize to everyone that's involved with me, the wife, all my 18 Mormon wives. I want to apologize in advance for this answer. This is not going to make me look good, but I'm going to get back to the thing, and you guys can watch. I'm sorry. What was the question?
Ian Brenna. Why are there so many stories about female ghosts lingering around in their garb crying?
Do you know what? It's been pounding in my head the whole time, the answer. Like I wanted to answer it when you started the question. It's so simple. Because females won't go away. They won't go away. They won't go away. They're not going to go away. And let me tell you why. It's not that they just won't go away, but they're going to stay around to haunt you. That's not a guy thing to do. A guy would think it would be like something horrific, maybe a bloodbath and split. But no, the female ghost is sticking. She's going to stay, and the whole time she's going to they don't go away. Final answer.
Wow. Wow.
You asked for it.
Okay. I'm just going to leave that there. I don't even want to touch it right now. I'm not even going to touch that. I'm not going to even, I'm not going to touch that. I would also like to apologize and give my condolences to all the women in your life. Country Boy Mike, same question. Why so many female ghosts?
Man.
You want to say.
You can't say what Mike said.
I know, so I'm trying to think of something different.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
See? Aha!
Because there are some women out there who just love their men so much because they take such good care of them that they don't want to go anywhere. They just want to be by their man for eternity. Even after the man dies, he's still being haunted.
Why are they wailing so hard then? Why are they always wailing or weeping? Why are you laughing?
You just keep
What?
proving
Why
my
are there
point.
banshees?
You're proving my point.
You're making women seem to be. Did you guys ever think we just like.
Are you sticking up for female ghosts?
Do you guys ever think that maybe the female ghosts are just like stroking the male ghosts' egos by crying over them?
No,
Like that's what you expect the
you don't
female
see any
ghost
male
to do, to
ghosts.
be so in love with you all the time that we can't possibly live without you. They would
Mike.
just throw ourselves off of bridges
Hey,
and
Mike.
spend eternity crying.
Mike, what she's basically saying is she won't go away.
I'm going away.
Just letting you know, Mike. That's what that the whole thing comes down to.
Sin Trader Hill author,
Final
would you like to help me out with a reasonable answer to this question?
Oh, Sarah, I would love to help you out with an answer to this. So basically, except for my husband, men suck.
Agreed.
Men suck.
Why do I
Agreed.
feel like this is the
Big
dating
time.
show all of a sudden? Why do
Agreed.
I feel
Let me explain.
Okay.
So for years, women have been second-class citizens, right?
Agreed.
Mhm.
Agreed.
And so, back in Victorian times, you knocked up a girl. Oh,
Yep.
well, she's just a problem because you're married and no one needs to find out. Let's just off her and we'll bury her in the cemetery in an unconsecrated grave. Or, things like that.
I don't want to bring all that
That's
back.
why. Well, that's what I'm telling you. That's what's going on.
I think Sin's got a point there too. I mean, there was also an article on why are there so many Victorian ghosts, and I think there's other things just about like storytelling in
I have a
general.
question.
But hold on, I will let you ask your question in one moment, Mike. I think the problem that people don't realize is that in Victorian times, they killed themselves not because they were so in love. That just makes a better story. They had no other. They didn't have a life to look forward to. Once they were either left at the altar or widowed, or they couldn't make money. They couldn't have bank accounts. Excuse me. They couldn't have jobs. What were they going to do? What were they going to do? It's like, oh, well.
Whose
I give
fault
up.
is that?
The men's.
Men.
That's whose fault it was.
The men.
Okay.
I was hoping.
Ask my
I thought that's
question
what it
now.
was.
Yeah, yes, you may ask your question, Country Boy Mike.
This is kind of a cryptic question.
Mm-hmm.
Are screaming banshees, are they spirits of women who died during menopause?
Legit Podcast would like to apologize for women going through menopause. We are
Clarification.
no.
Is that worse
nope,
than what
nope,
I said?
Nope. Yes, it is.
They're kind of both of you guys suck right
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. You guys are just both. Your guys are both canceled. So
For the record, if you go to Marvel Comics, the Banshee was actually a guy, a redheaded Irish guy. The Banshee.
That's right.
So I always, as a little kid, I never thought of Banshees as just females until you guys started telling me that they were.
what about the ghost that talks about his Little League trophies?
I love. Hey,
Why do they stay around?
if he's got a
What?
is my want to hear my theory on that?
No. Country
Does
Boy Mike, are you ready to
Do you
spin
have
the
the
wheel?
trophy to show?
Yeah.
I'm ready. Let's go. Before I get in
Spin the
trouble.
wheel
Before I get in trouble.
before I get in trouble. Why is that one so?
What is that music?
Paranormal
Paranormal
timelines.
Oh, brother.
Okay. Yeah, this is like. So, Country Boy Mike, I may have. I didn't have any gummies and have any cookies, but I may have had something last night.
Allegedly,
And
when we do not support any
Allegedly,
sort of that
I don't endorse any type of anything other than water. But
just say no.
just say no.
Anti-Reagan.
So I got to
RIP.
thinking about time and the nature of time, as one does. Do you think, Country Boy Mike, do you believe that there is more than one timeline? And if so, do you believe there are points where they touch? And then explain your answer.
Oh shit.
Oh shit is right.
Yeah, I believe there's other timelines. But what are the consequences if the timelines do touch? I mean, does one person meet itself?
I'm
And-
speaking more of like experiencing things like
No.
deja vu.
Oh, we're back
ahead,
on
Mike.
deja vu shit. More or less. Gosh.
Well, answer it however you want. How do you think it works?
This goes right back to the whole different timelines, multiverse thing. I mean, that's my whole thing about deja vu. I think deja vu is something that you're experiencing in another multiverse. But you're
Is a multiverse, so clarification, is a multiverse just another timeline where you are also living your life, but it's different?
Another universe.
It's in another universe.
Yeah.
I'm talking about timelines where you're still you, we're still us, but they're happening at the same time.
Okay, so I'm gonna start my conspiracy podcast here in a month or so, and I want you as a guest so we can really discuss this, because that is something that I am really, it's hard for me to wrap my head around. I believe in a multiverse. I believe there are different universes just like ours with other us's on there. I believe that when you experience deja vu, it's not something you've experienced in the past or reliving. I think it's something that is happening at that same time in a different multiverse. Does that make sense?
It makes sense. Sin, what are your thoughts on this type of subject of timelines existing at the same time with the same people in them?
The same people in the same circumstances? Is that what we're thinking? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, so like say if time was a spiral, same people in same circumstances, and the same circumstances are happening over and over again, and when one life ends, then another timeline begins, and it would create a spiral, right? And they just keep going. Well, there'd be some points on those spirals where they'd touch each other. The past and the future, the present and the past. Does that make sense?
It does.
And if that happens?
Do what?
What are the consequences if that happens?
Oh, see, I have no idea about this topic.
That's a deep subject.
Yeah, it's way above my pay grade. In my head, if there are multiverse and if there is a different timeline, I want to find it, because in my head, the timeline, me on the other timeline, is better looking, rich, and all that kind of stuff. And I want to go there.
You want to go there?
I look good. Yeah.
So you would want to take out the Sin from the other timeline, take her place, or just be her?
Well, if I am her and I'm prettier there and richer there, why shouldn't I go there instead of stay here and be poor and ugly?
You're Sin Schrader Hill author. You're going to get a demerit just for saying that's not true.
Taking over your life.
All right, I'm actually going to defer. This is going to be a first. Okay, a legit podcast first. I'm going to actually defer to King Mike Owl because he explains this better than I do.
So
I don't like it, but it's true.
I've studied this for a long time, actually. I really have. So time is considered linear, right? In our heads, we all consider it linear. It goes day by day. It goes straight across right? So this is a linear. No, you can't see it. I just drew it, though, right? And it's got like 84. I think it starts at 1980. Every dot is 80. That's the line of time, right? Now, if you look it up, NASA caught a blip in that line. So if you blow up the blip, this is what it looks like. So 84 would be like that. Now, everywhere that there's a dot is considered like an excursion point, like a starting point. There's a line coming through it. In other words, if time is traveling through this linear like this, it has to also be touching these dots. So it would look like this. First, we'd have this. See the lines? Every line is a different timeline that's now created coming through, right? Because this exists. It can't be just linear. But then it branches off because each time one goes left, right, you're always living. This is going to sound crazy. You're always alive. You've always been alive. You've been alive before. You've done things differently. There's so much to what we don't know about time itself and why we have like a soul or what we're connected to. But people think it's time going like a ruler, and it doesn't. It just like everything else. Like we just decided that's how it goes, and it doesn't work like that. Does that make any sense to anybody?
It does to me. I think that's the best explanation actually I've heard.
Actually, I like that. We're going to sit down and talk in depth about that, Mike.
Yeah, because the thing is, NASA did get like they do have something. I know it sounds stupid. They have something that measures the like the timeline, just the basic timeline of whatever. I don't even know how to measure that. But I do remember a blip, and I researched the shit out of that, and that means like again, like lines could go right through those spots because that means times exist going this way. So that means, dude, and then it branches and it becomes like you realize we're not just the only line. Like what we're living right now is not even close to like all the lives that we do live and variations thereof. And that's why I think sometimes when they bump or you do have a memory, they're either bumping, which that would explain the Mandela effect, or you're just having a memory of something that you lived before or are living now that was similar, and it just maybe you see it at the same time in two different lives. And that's why it's like, oh, deja vu. Like I just saw that. Yes, you did just see that, but just maybe not in this timeline. That's what I think.
We've talked about that, Mike, and I would like to add, like, I feel like sometimes, if this makes sense to you guys, so when those bumps happen, if it changes something slightly, so say in the other timeline, okay. Now I'm not talking about the Mandela effect for a second, Mike. I'm talking about, so if I'm living in this house, but in another timeline, something was changed slightly and I'm not living in this house, another family is living in this house. What if at points I see them and experience them as ghosts and they see me and experience me as a ghost?
So now we're talking about other dimensions.
Other timelines.
Other lives, other dimensions, timelines.
I don't know if it's another.
Oh, yeah, Mike. Every line's a different you.
It's a different. It's you, but it's a different you.
She just what she's saying makes sense. It's like what if one of your timelines bleeds over to the other, and it's almost like an energy, like a bad energy thing where they kind of come through, but they don't. Mm-hmm. But that's rare because don't most ghosts like haunt people and do all that crazy stuff? But like you mean passing by ghosts? That would make more sense. That really would.
If you say you're just living your life in your house and you experience Ghost Sarah, you're gonna do everything you can to get rid of it. So I don't know, like you're like messing with the house, you're yelling at it, you're screaming at it, you're slamming doors because you're angry. Now Sarah, who in reality thinks she's alive and living in that house, thinks you're the angry ghost does that make sense? Because you're just trying to get rid of her. So you're actually antagonizing each other.
Sounds like a great sitcom.
Each believes the other is the ghost, is the intruder.
Sarah thinks she's dead.
It's a really deep subject.
This is like the movie Others, which Mike, you what?
This is like, so if this is even considered paranormal, this is like the only thing that like the last 10, 15 years of my life I've absorbed as much as I possibly can, right? I read so much all day and watch stuff that's stuff like this. I'm telling you, the one thing about time that they try to prove way back, and even Tesla would argue, 369 up is that it's just to consider the fact that we just think that it goes linear is absurd. It really it is. It's pompous on our parts. You know what it is? It's because our heads can't really can't wrap around the idea of it going any other way than just linear, just straight. Time just goes
Right.
on, right? And we just think it goes straight. There's nothing else it can do. But that doesn't mean we're the only timeline happening. Again, if you're a religious person, you believe in the soul. It's almost like, well, why wouldn't you believe your soul could be in all these other timelines? Or I don't like the word universe because that means it's like a universe. I just mean like the timeline, like just if you picture like tubes, you know what I mean? It's just another timeline. It is your universe, but it's just like another timeline of that person, of that soul, and how it interacts with everything. It's like a big spider web, man. I really think it's just like a gigantic spider web that we're all connected to, and we're always living this moment. If that makes any sense.
It does. It's
Thank
one of the few
Finally.
times you've made sense. Do we have time? Do we have time to do? We don't have time for Mad Libs, which is on the
Nope.
wheel.
Nope.
We
Nope.
don't. We definitely don't. What's the
Okay.
last question?
I
I can't see.
Mad Libs we'll do Mad Libs.
We don't have time for Mad. Well, maybe we have time for a quick Mad
I
Libs.
can pick a short one.
Can you pick a short one? Do it fast.
Oh, here we go. All right, here we go. Okay, let me get rid of the wheel.
Okay. Get rid of it. Yeah, we don't need it
All right,
anymore.
here we go.
Okay.
All right. Sin, adjective.
Big.
All right. Mike, noun.
Sarah. I'm first place your thing, right?
All right. No. A noun is just a person, place, or thing.
That's what I said. Sarah. We'll throw Sarah in the mix.
You all right.
We've been picking
Sarah?
on that anyways.
Sarah, adjective.
Miniature.
Sin, noun.
Dog.
All right. Mike, part of the body.
Arm.
All right. Sarah, noun.
Shoe.
All right. Sin, adverb.
Lovingly.
Mike, a plural noun. Two or something.
Two of something.
Or more.
Pair of shoes.
Shoes. Adjective, Sarah.
Smelly.
Noun, Sin.
House.
All right. And Mike, finally, a noun.
Truck.
Truck. All right. So, driving tips. Driving a car can be fun if you follow this big advice. Number 1, when approaching a shoe on the right, always blow your house. Number 2, before making a miniature turn, always stick your arm out the window. That's actually true.
It is.
Just want to make sure. Clarification. I think that one's true. Number 3, every 2,000 miles, have your truck inspected and your dog checked. That's not bad advice.
Not at all.
Number 4, when approaching a school, watch out for smelly shoes. Sound advice.
It's also true.
Sound advice. Sound advice. Number 5, above all, lovingly, the Sarah you save may be your own.
Aw.
All right, we're going to do this
Mad
quick,
Libs.
folks. That was very good because we have to get over to legit paranormal news. So I'm not even going to bother with the points. Both of you lost with your female ghost answers. You both lost.
Give me out so I can
So
go.
the winner today is Sin Trader Hill author. She has been playing for Dogs Without Paws. When will the madness stop? Give to Dogs Without Paws and find them some prosthetic paws today. This has been Legit
Sad.
Paranormal Roulette. And please follow us over to Legit Paranormal News. So for Sin Trader Hill author, Country Boy Mike, King Mike L, and Sarah Paranormal, Have a good night and see you at the news.
Good night, everyone.